Hey y'all, what's going on? It's your girl MizzTink. That's MIZZ, not MISS. I'm here today to talk about none other than Empire, season 2, episode 3 or 4, whatever. Shout out to my girl T for doing my hair. She did it Friday, so I love my braids. I'm gonna put her information here, of course. And yeah, I just got off of work, so I'm tired, so I want to hurry up and get through this or whatever. So let's get on and get into it. Yeah. So, anyways, we see Lucius done got out, and Jessie is pissed off. She basically wants to get his ass. That's all she wants. That's all she worried about. And then we see Lucius coming down the steps in his little GQ suit. Thirsty talking about how he's not allowed at Empire, whatever. But then Thirsty tells the press that he's gonna prove his innocence. Yeah, right. He did it. And then after that, we see my girl Cookie knocking on the door to wake up Hakeem because he has an interview with Sway or whatever. And Cookie walks in her red and black confetti coat with the red dress looking all cute or whatever. Basically tells Hakeem the difference between him and Jamal. Jamal is a professional and Hakeem not. Hakeem don't really give a fuck. And that's when Valentina, aka Buckfin, comes in, and Cookie can tell basically that they've been fucking around. Then go tell Hakeem that, maybe it's not a good idea for you to be fucking around with the lead singer. Buckfin chimes in, talking about she's her own artist, and Cookie like, I ain't talking to you, Guadalupe. You need to go find your drawers. I was like, all right, bitch, you better go. Cookie ain't about them games. And then that's when Cookie tells Hakeem that Lucius is out. Hakeem don't really give a fuck. And that's when Cookie basically says she's relying on Hakeem in this album and this girl group, Mirage Etoile, aka 3 Shades of Vanilla, to come out and do their thing so she can do her thing and be better than Lucius or whatever. She trying to outdo him. And then that's when they go on ahead and head to Sway. But before they leave, Buckfin basically tells Hakeem, don't forget to shout me out. I'm under 100 followers or 50,000. That bitch is trying to use him. I don't buy it for one bit. That bitch is trying to use him. Then after that, Lucius does his press conference talking about he a god and says basically Empire is going to be global. Anytime you see music or hear anything about music, you're going to hear Empire. He wants to do the damn thing. I'm like, whatever. The next scene we see Hakeem doing his thing for Sway, and Sway doing, looking all like crunk. I like the beat. The beat was good or whatever. Cookie recording, and then after they do the little thing, Sway and Hakeem sit down, and then that's when Sway tells Hakeem, you basically did something that Azalea broke and Lil Wayne did, which was leak your album. And how does Lucius feel about it? Hakeem doesn't give a fuck and says, ask him. Sway calls him and tells Lucius, I'm here with your son, and how do you feel about him leaking your album? Lucius says that Hakeem has to grow up, and he ain't really happy about it, hangs up the phone, and Hakeem talking about, why my dad didn't stop me because he was in jail. I was like, yeah, that's true. Then Hakeem opens up his big mouth about 3 Shades of Vanilla, and Cookie like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? Because Sway wants the exclusive, so he's going to give him the exclusive. I'm like, oh my God, Hakeem, you doing too much. But anyways, let's go ahead and press play to the next scene. Alright, so the next scene starts off where we see the dinner, everybody getting together, having one big family dinner, and Jamal tells the family that Lucius is happy to be out and wants to be around the family. Cookie clocks him about, how's your music going? Have you been working with him? And Jamal can't really say anything other than that, he just got out. Cookie like, Cookie don't believe that shit. I know, I don't believe it either, Cookie. Then that's when we see Lucius come around the corner and says, eat and be merry because tomorrow we war. Basically yelling out how he better than Barry Gordy, giving them all second chances. Andre starts apologizing. Cookie like, why are you apologizing? Because I ain't sorry. Then after they start talking, Cookie gets up and does I love this line, talk about, you must have forgot, Lucius, I'm going to always eat, just not with you. And then walks off and drops that good old food. I was like, damn, I'm hungry. Why, Cookie? Why, bitch, I'm hungry. I'm just saying, should that food look good? But the exit was everything. Oh, you looked fabulous as always. And then after that, we gonna press play to the next scene. Alright, after the family dinner, we see Anika meeting Lucius at Club Leviticus. Lucius is basically doing a coming home party. You know how people are, come home from jail, you gotta celebrate. Invites Anika over to basically try to get Anika to double cross Lions Dynasty. Anika like, the fuck? Why would I even trust you after what you did to me? I'm telling you. Anika don't trust him, but Lucius points out that Anika not happy working with Cookie because Lucius thinks that Boo Boo Kitty works with Cookie, but obviously she doesn't. He doesn't know that, and then that's when Lucius basically tells Boo Boo Kitty that you've always been smart, don't be smart, but then calls her a little dirty. And then Anika thinks he's like, what do you have in mind or whatever. I'm like, Anika, don't double cross. Then we see the girls in the DJ booth doing their thing or whatever, and they sounding all right. And then Buck Finn gets in her little feelings because because Hakeem haven't talked to her in a while. I'm like, bitch, get over yourself. Cookie calls her a bitch and tell her get on to the song. I'm like, I know that's right. And then at the end of the day, the hooks sound all right. Now they got to get their dance steps. I was like, Cookie, do your shit. Because again, Hakeem opened up his mouth to sway about having a girl group ready, so now Cookie got to get in fast mode and get it together. That's what you get, Hakeem. I'm just saying. Let's go and press play to the next scene. Alright, so next we see Andre and Lucius getting together talking, and Andre basically tells Lucius if he buys up all the radio stations, he will have control of the radio waves, and Cookie won't be able to play her music anywhere. And of course, Lucius is going to go for it because he's just a greedy motherfucker. And then Andre begins to beg again, and Lucius like, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. Reason why, because Lucius could basically hire anybody to do Andre's job, and then he tells Andre that you're going to have to come with something big in order to get back into Empire. You're going to have to come with it or go home. Got to convince him. And that's when Andre phone ring, and we see Jamal calling Andre, want to talk to Lucius. And that's when Andre tells Lucius that, there's some girl here ready to sign. Lucius tells Andre that is Fee, she is my everything musically. You do what you got to do to sign her, whatever. Don't let her leave Empire, whatever. And then that's when we see Philo for whatever, her name is Free, but I call her Philo for whatever, and her entourage all in the office, and Gabby and Jamal trying to talk her into signing with Empire. She wants to talk to Lucius. Lucius not allowed at Empire, of course, but she doesn't know that. And then that's when her dumbass brother or whoever it is in her entourage talking about, I can't even read half of these words. They playing you, sis. I'm like, Philo, I need you to get your people some hooked on phonics. That's all I'm saying. Then she walks off, and then that's when Jamal clocks him and said, musically, Dad says she's his everything, so what does that leave me? I told you, should have trusted his ass. I told you. But anyway, it's gonna press play to the next scene. Lucius, Jamal, and Thirsty watching Philo video. Thirsty tells Lucius where the park is or whatever, where her video's being filmed at, and then Lucius and Jamal go back and forth. Lucius announces that he has this new record label called Ghetto Record Labels and want Philo for part of it, and Jamal and them go back and forth, and he wants to be an artist. Basically tells Lucius he done held down everything while he was in jail. Now it's his time. And, he's whining, but I mean, he got a point. But that's what you get. Jamal, you should have just stayed with your mama. Your mama knows best. But anyways, then Thirsty basically says, I know you're going to go down there, but it's against your jurisdiction, but I know you want her. So, of course, Lucius headed down there to get his fee loaf. I'm just saying. Let's go and press play to the next scene. Anika and Cookie meet up in Cookie office, and Anika basically starts begging, and Cookie basically don't want to hear it. But then when Anika tells her that she saw Lucius, and Lucius is throwing a coming home party and everything, Cookie's interested and basically calls Boo Boo Kitty Anika. And then Anika tells Cookie that she wants to get Lucius back for the bullshit that he did, and they all in for it. I think they gonna get on, get together and do what they gotta do. But hey, let's do what it do. Then we see the party. Cookie crashes it. We see Asmara cute ass doing her thing. Jamal does his thing. Pitbull really didn't like it. Hakeem and Timberland do their thing. I like it. Lucius looking like, all right, bitch, I'm gonna get you back. Pitbull trying to get, in with Cookie, and Cookie don't pass up no business deal. She looked good in her Game of War outfit though. What the hell? I loved it. Get it, girl. Asmara too, you can get it. And that's basically how that scene ends. And let's go and press play to the next scene. Cookie done got her some employees at Lion Dynasty. Sway calling her, telling her how good she did. The crashing of Lucius' party. Cookie all happy. Then we see 3 Shades of Vanilla arguing. Dolphin Teeth and the girls all getting into it. And I told you. Andre comes over and tells Cookie that, Rhonda's expecting. Cookie's happy and tells Andre that's the best way to get back in the good graces of Lucius. Andre doesn't want to do it, but ends up doing it. Lucius tells him, I'm happy for you, but it's breaking my heart that you would use this child as, as leverage to get back in the Empire. And then before he says that, he reminisces about, his mom having mental illness, because he asks Andre, does the baby have mental illness, because it runs in the family. Kelly Rowland had it. She still looked good, though. And Andre says no. And then after, he tells him breaks his heart, he said, get the hell up out of here. Andre looking stuck. Lucius plays the piano, and then we see Kelly Rowland in the days like, the fuck? And I'm like, oh, Lord. And then that's when Lil Lucius sings If Loving You by Minnie Riperton. I was like, I'll get a little Lucius. But hey, I can only hope for the best. But let's go ahead and press play to the next scene. Alright, after that, we see Fee doing this little rap battle and everything. Gets in her feelings when old dude brings up the death of her father, tries to kill him. Lucius steps in and tries to get her to sign with Empire, but her ass winds up running with her crew, wastes the fucking talent. Philo, I'm gonna need you to get it together. But Lucius ain't gonna give up. Then when Lucius trying to escape, runs into Jesse. Them two exchange words. Thirsty talking about his harassment. Jesse don't give a fuck because she wants his ass nailed to the cross. They exchange their little thing. It looks gross. I'm just saying it just looks a little gross. But, you know, let's go ahead and press play to the next scene. Anyways, back at the ranch, Gabby basically lets Jamal have it and says, all this shit that's going on between you and, well, between your dad and Cookie's between your dad and Cookie. Don't let that fuck up your music, which is true. Then basically says you need to go see Cookie because she loves you and supports you. He winds up, of course, taking the advice and going there. But then, of course, it gets back to Lucius. Lucius comes in and talks him out of it, talking about Cookie and no other producer can produce you because you a god, I can produce you. And of course, Jamal all happy, like, no shit. I'm like, nigga, please, he playing you or whatever. And then we see Cookie also go on Miss Tracy on these girls, getting these girls in the shape. Dolphin Teeth get up in her feelings, and then Cookie says her straight out, you think because you fucking my son, you think it's gonna be easy? No, get your ass up there and do it. You know, basically putting in work. All y'all motherfuckers want to be like Beyonce but don't want to put in work. But then she gets them together. Hakeem comes in and see that they all in unison. Asks Cookie where she learned from. Cookie like, prison. Hakeem like, the fuck? Your mama know what she doing. But anyway, let's go and press play to the next scene. Alright, so basically the episode ends when they're at the meeting with Sway. They're calling Buck Finn. Yeah, I was calling her Dolphin Teeth, but yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. They're calling Buck Finn because only 2 shades of the vanilla are there, and they're about to go on. And Lucius crashes and says, I'm doing the same thing you did to me, to Cookie. And then they go back and forth, and then that's when Buck Finn comes in and announces, you know, well, should I say Lucius announces that she's a solo artist. She says, sorry, Jamal. I'm like, bitch, slap that hoe. Please, Cookie, slap that hoe. But that's when Cookie was like, I'm going to get your ass back. I was like, get her ass back, Cookie. Then she goes in there and do her little singing thing or whatever. And I'm like, bitch, please. I ain't really like it. I'm just saying, Buckfin, you all right, but I ain't really like it. And then after that, that's when they go back and forth. And Cookie basically tells Lucius that you can't keep Cookie down. I was like, I know that's right, bitch. And then walks out there like a boss, and Hakeem trails behind him. But I like how Hakeem asked the other 2 shades, did y'all know about this? They're like, no, bitch. I'm just as shocked as you. That shit was just too funny to me. But anyways, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed my little quick review of Empire Season 2, Episode 3 or 4. I'll be on the lookout for the other ones, y'all. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and share, please, y'all. I'm doing the SCENTSY party as well. I'm going to put the information down at the bottom, so y'all check it out. I'm doing it with much love. Shout out to you, baby. I'm going to do my shout outs in my other video, my Come On Now video. And yeah, it's MizzTink. That's M-I-Z-Z, not M-I-S-S. And the channel, of course, is Naturalpolesista TV. So I'm finna get on out here and give me some sleep. All right, y'all stay blessed. Love y'all. Bye.